Hey, and welcome to another episode of Politically Incorrect. Yes, greetings in the name of His and Her Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, Empress Wazir Menin. Yes, family. One perfect balance. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Yeah, we on time. Wait, hold up. I need dark. Let me just click over here a second. Turn this on. Yes, family, we're continuing the conversation we started on Monday, dealing with love and uncomfortable conversation. And tonight we're going to touch on who are the real victims of abuse in the family. And the reason why we're going on this road, because we talk about Black consciousness, this kind of stuff. But one of the things we have to do as a people, if we don't heal the family, we won't be able to move forward because this is such a relationship between the two. And that's why everything that goes on, all the distractions and everything, is centered around destroying the family. Because once they break up the family, then they break up all forms of progress. And they know this. So we're going to look at some stuff, we're going to address some stuff. Plus, we have a special guest coming in tonight, our very own, our very, 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 very own special guest, none other than the host of Caribbean Women Expo. If y'all have never seen that, this is your night to get involved, get plugged in. And we're gonna touch on some stuff though, and they're gonna be sensitive. I tell you, this is gonna be sensitive. I could already tell this is gonna be sensitive. So go tell a friend and tell a friend. Politically incorrect. We in the building without question. Yeah. Others, people they say we outside. Nah, we inside. We inside the building, man. So go tell a friend and tell a friend. Politically incorrect up and running, and you definitely don't want to miss tonight. Let me go ahead and drop this link in my guest inbox. She could check that out. We heard the brother Lane spoke on Monday, and shout out to Brother Lane, by the way. If you didn't catch Monday's episode, go back and watch it. The brother dropped the science. It was very informative, a bit emotional. I got a lot of calls on that, especially when the sister Gemma spoke. I mean, I didn't even know it's going to have that kind of an impact, but it definitely carried. And folks now saying you can't even do one or two. You got to do like three, four, and five. Well, we'll take it where it has to go because the aim is to bring healing to the family. So this is where we're going with this thing tonight, family. This is where we're going. So go tell a friend to tell a friend. Politically incorrect up. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Is that kind of night? I see you, Maria. I see you, Sonia. Fairy, we got to talk. Got them documents. Just letting you know. It's a green light now. Yeah, it's exciting. Yeah. Natasha, I see you. Live in love, of course, and this guy is always Jade. I see you too, and of course, the light that comes out the dark. We know who you are, Jade. Wait, Andrea Aline. Hmm. Yes, that name sounds familiar. We give thanks. We give thanks. We give thanks. Greetings to you too, family. Give thanks to you too. Dan, I see you. All right, family. Let me just go drop a tune real quick. While y'all take the opportunity to go share this in your WhatsApp groups, all 20 of them, if you're like me. Yeah. And go put it in your Facebook status. Go share this thing. Let me get this tune. It was like which one? But I guess this is wait a minute. Yeah. This is the one? This the one? No, that's not the one. This the one. This the one right here. Wait, I see where the tune going. Tune like it disappeared. No, it disappeared. Open a new link. All right. Got you covered. So we're gonna start with this particular one right here. And for obvious reasons, man, go tell a friend to tell a friend. Monica, I see you. This is gonna be quite interesting, family. This is post Kropova. A lot of stuff happened over the last couple of days. Some stuff can't even touch it. As much as I would love to touch it, I can't even touch it, man. Wow. You know what? But it's relative, though. Who are the real victims of violence, abuse in the family? Who are the victims? Who are the victims, man? Who are the victims? Tell a friend to tell a friend. That's right. Charity begins at home, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Let me just go and drop this tune real quick, because For those who may not know.
I can't live without a woman.
Can't, don't want to.
I would never hurt a woman. All who believe in prayer, we all need to pray. Can't believe what is happening. These must be the last days. Times are getting scary.
Yes.
The devil's in a rage. Women and children are a target now. We need to see a shade. We're losing too many women. Stop the violence
against women. Too many women, man.
We need to love our women and take care of the women. Stop abusing the women. We're losing too many women, yeah. Stop the violence against women. We need to love our women, take care of the women, stop abusing the women. Young girls beware, there are predators.
Blessed love to you too, family. Chris Martin, those.
They act as if they care. They are wolves in sheep clothing. They are evil. So don't just stop on any taxi, no, and don't just stop on any bus,
no.
Don't just trust loose faces, no. So step on every day. Don't make night get you too far from home. Don't get your loved ones nervous. Just think before you act now, pretty.
I see you, Sharon. I see you, Sharon. Miss Cretchlow. Glad to see you, family. Tell a friend to tell a friend, family. Go tell a friend to tell a friend.
Stay and fight because it's better you leave if you're not treated right. But don't disrespect and stay out at night. But well, these days we're losing too many women.
Losing too many.
Stop the violence against women. We need to love our women and take care of the women. Stop abusing the women. We're losing too many women, yeah. Stop the violence against women. We need to love our women, take care of the women. Stop abusing the women. Me never seen nothing but earn me so. If
yes.
You want find God, them say a church you go, but the one what for lead and what for teach. Can't believe the same 37, 63 minus 15. No,
all right, family. Tell a friend to tell a friend. If you know coming on, like, share, and subscribe.
And then the criminal, them murder upon the taxi route. Kidnap the little girls and teach them forbidden fruit. Me have a bag of stone, no, me no one shoot. Me wanna feel a lot of faith absolute.
Man, see, have a bag of stone, he don't want to shoot. He want their mind to feel nothing but pain. Time to take care of the children, family. Women and children, elderly, off limits, man. It's rules. Code of the street, family. Love the women, man. Love the women, man. Can't live without the woman. Don't want to. Nope. Stop the violence against women. I mean, it's funny because you're going to have to extend this tune here to like against the elder, the young. I mean, it's just everything like it gone off track. It's crazy. Crazy. But speaking of women and speaking of abuse, I cannot not play this. Did I have the hold up? Did I queue up the? Let me see if I have the link first. Let me just check first because I definitely want to put this up tonight without question. Did I? Yes, I have it. There, I got it. Let me just go here real quick. Let me see how can I do this though? Oh, full screen this. Okay, I'm gonna share this on full screen it first. Let me just pause it real quick. I cannot not do this. I said it the other night, and I definitely want to put it up tonight. So let me go ahead and share this real quick right now. This is a shout out to this young lady right here. Let me pull her up real quick. Miss Pinder. Put on a little volume, put it on full screen. In case y'all have not seen this as yet, this is what Barbados, one of our young people in Barbados is doing. I definitely got to give this young lady a full 100% shout out. She has made history in its own, league. I remember when my sister was working with her daughter for like forever, trying to get her to this level. Let me just play this, man. Check this out, family.
And Barbados, Erin Pinder.
Historic day for Barbados with Erin Pinder, first female gymnast representing.
The first female gymnast from
Said she was
Barbados
a little bit scared, but just couldn't wait.
competing
Well, a big moment for this athlete and her
in
nation.
Commonwealth Games.
For Barbados, quite a tall gymnast, 71.
Shorty got some skills here. Nice.
Fully aware of the little bit of history she's creating here, and the crowd told over the PA that she is the first for Barbados.
First Barbados to the world. We got to celebrate our own, family. Charity begins at home.
And that's her best apparatus.
That's
today.
it.
What a
That's
great
it.
finish.
Erin Pinder, a groundbreaker. A pioneer
Erin
really
Pinder, man.
for
Shout out to the
Barbados.
sister right here from BIM 100, family.
Reminded of that, yeah.
That's great.
Pedro
And Barbados.
is the sixth most prolific serial killer ever.
I
Pedro
think-
has been convicted of
wait.
71 murders. But what is even more insane than that is that
I
Pedro
don't
is
even
now
know
a
where that-
YouTuber.
I
Now,
don't
Pedro
even know
didn't have
where
the
that
best
coming
start
from.
in
Hold on a
life
second.
because his dad, Pedro Sr.,
Let me
was a
load this
very
thing. Okay,
violent man.
I found it.
And when
I found it. There you go. That came on after her video. Quite interesting. Quite interesting. But this video right here definitely is what I wanted to share. I mean, the sister doing things, man, making history. Making history. And that's what it's about, family. You know what I mean? Just raising the children to be the best they can be. So I definitely had to support the sister right there with that one. And I give thanks to y'all. Definitely giving her that energy pushing forward. All right, having said that though, let me see here how we can do this here now. So we're discussing the other stuff going on, which y'all would know already. Let me see here now. Hold on. I see you. Yeah, Facebook there was stuck for a second. Let me go ahead and put this up tonight, man. What are real victims of abuse? Y'all are going. Remember the other night we played a video, right, from the sister. What's her name? Let me pull her video up. Zad Ali. Let me copy this first off the top. I see you. Let me copy this off the top. I'm going to put this in the link right now. But I want to play a clip from this as well. Jump in. Yes, young talent for sure. Let me just go ahead and share this real quick. Let me just slide this in here. 2 minutes. Now it's a lot longer video, but I'm not going to play the whole video. Give it a listen, family. You might need a pen and paper tonight again, I promise you.
Demonstrates that we are not as different as we like to think that we are. So what I'm going to go over real brief right now is what the attributes are of the good black woman. Since she's not on television, we may not recognize her. Okay. Now, the good black woman has 7 attributes, and then I'm going to explain to you how to utilize those in your day-to-day life. The good black woman has self-discipline, courteousness, cheerfulness, self-respect, intelligence, cleanliness, and love. Now, we've heard that terminology. You know, it's like one of those where they tell you, pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. What do that mean? You know, how can I make that functional in my day-to-day life to benefit me as a practice? It sounds like all theory. Where's the practical? What do I do? The good black woman has self-discipline. That's self-control. Let me make that real for you, sisters. We can start with our mouth. The good black woman can control her mouth. She don't have to say everything that comes up. It's okay if he get the last word sometime. No. She don't cuss in public. And she works on not cussing in private. She don't tear a man down with her mouth because they can't out-argue us. Can't nobody out-argue us. I have charged that we nag our men too much. We keep our men's head tied up so much with our petty grievances about our personal relationship that he don't have time to think and plan for our future. Because he got to deal with what's going to happen with us every day. You know, it's real odd. When the black man come home, he almost have to do a wind test or stick his toe in the door. He don't know what's waiting. He don't know who is that today. He knows it's a possibility that there's some kind of new monster that he didn't even know about yesterday. So, you know, we need to not make it like that. We need to not be so vicious with our mouth. You know, men are not petty like that. They're not going to out-argue us. And it has been proven that verbal abuse is just as harmful as physical abuse. So let's not use our mouth to do that to him. The good black woman is courteous. She says, thank you, baby. I appreciate you doing that. I appreciate every effort you make. Try harder. I'm going to work with you. Thank you. I know you did your best. Now that's a whole new language.
Look, man.
But just to say that during the course of the day, every day, with the man that you're trying to be with or want to be with, will make our life easier. We can't get it if we don't give it. We keep wanting them to give us and do something for us that we refuse to do and give to them. It don't work like that. The good black woman has self-respect. She don't have to go out naked just to get the attention of a man. I have sisters all over the country, and they come up to me after the lectures, and they'll be talking to me, and they'll say, well, you know, all he think about is sex. All he think about is my body. I said, why don't you show him something else? And then there's the really good one. They'll come up and they'll have on a weave. They have on false eyelashes, another whole face, false fingernails, and all of that. And then they'll say, but I'm looking for a real man. Say why? What you want a real man for? The good black woman can pull a dress down without thinking that it devalues her. She doesn't have to use her body because she has so many other good attributes about herself to get the attention of a man. We can take the sisters in a position to take all of the charge and sexual energy out of the black community by just dressing differently. We have the power and control over that. That don't stop you from being beautiful. That don't stop you from getting a man.
All right.
And it certainly puts things on the right perspective so some other judgments can be made other than physical. It don't take no knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to have a sexual reaction. That's the most base. We spend less time doing that than anything else we do.
All right, family. I put the link up in the comments. You can go watch the rest of it. I figure I'll start with that because I thought it was interesting in terms of how she approached the good black woman, since you're not seeing it on television. Because most of the television shows that do show families, if they do show relationships, they always show black women and black men in a certain light and then everything else. I wanted to share a certain link with y'all Monday, sorry. Well, actually, let me just show y'all. Let me show y'all what I meant. And our guest is here as well. And I'll share this and bring her in, and maybe she can elaborate on this as well. But check this out real quick. This is why I started with that, just to show you the image that they portray of a black woman. Remember that video? What was it called? Diary of a Mad Black Woman, something like that. Angry Black Woman, something like that. Let me show you something. And I searched. This is what I found. A few like this, but this one right here took the cake. And let me show you some of these subliminal things that they do to reinforce this mindset that kind of feeds abuse in the family. Let me show you. This is a page I came across. If you want to have a successful relationship, these 8 awkward conversations may be necessary. All right, sounds, researching, looking for stuff. Sounds innocent. Okay. The first image they show you though when you finish the search, obviously, is this one. It comes up with the brother and the sister right there, as you can see. And they clearly look like they're having problems. They're not even communicating. They like at odds. He's backing her, she looking away. Okay. All right. I thought, well, that's okay. Seems interesting. But as I was going through the article, reading through stuff, came across another picture. I was like, well, wait a minute. Okay, the racial thing, interracial thing. All right, all right, I understand that. And I was going through some more, and I go into some. I said, whoa, okay, well, wait a minute. Let me just skip past this one. Got to this one, I was like scratching my head, trying to figure out, well, wait a minute. And I kept going and said, well, wait. I said, well, wait a minute. Like, wait a minute. So, but the thing is, all these couples look like they, having a decent kind of joyful moment expressing themselves together. I mean, all the way, all the way, all the way. But well, you can skip that one. But then this one, again, with the white guy back turned to the sister, but except she's looking at his back. She's not looking away. And I was thinking to myself, let me go back up to the top again, because maybe it's just Emmanuel. They say that I might be a bit biased. I said to myself, let me study this picture for a second. And I studied because a brother once messaged me about images, and I understand the power of images. But there's a duality to it. It said pictures worth 1,000 words. I could almost hear the words coming off of this. But before I go any further, let me go introduce our guest, our special guest. It's an honor right now. Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Yeah, there you go. Thanks. I mean, oh man, that was crazy. Let me go ahead and introduce our guest for tonight. I mean, this is an honor to have this young lady with us. Now, very, very on day one specialist. She has a program that comes on her page, which is Caribbean Women Expo, and she deals with what is called uncomfortable conversations. Let me welcome none other than to our platform. Welcome and greetings to Politically Incorrect for the very first time live directly on our resident manager, NICHOLL HUNTE. Greetings, sister. Blessed love.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
On my end, it's loud and clear. Give me a sound check, family. Give me a sound check real quick. If you can hear, just give me some feed for some thumbs up. Give me some thumbs up in the feed, and I would know that it's loud and clear. Loud and clear. Yeah, it's looking good so far.
Okay, awesome. Thank you
Yes.
so much for inviting me to be on. I had to wear my very expensive vintage one of a kind t-shirt for you all tonight.
Right.
Just to, you know what I'm saying? I had to get the drip dripping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, do
So,
your magic. Do your magic. Do your magic. This is one of them kind of, because like you do the uncomfortable conversations, and I know
uh-huh.
that it's been very uncomfortable for the few that I sat in, and I know
Yeah.
you touch on topics that most people don't really want to touch on,
Hmm.
and who are the real victims in the family when it comes to abuse is a broad question,
Hmm.
but everyone loses when the family feuds. Everyone.
Hmm.
Father, mother, children, granny, the community, we all lose, and that's one of the points I definitely want to drive home tonight is that abuse in one family affects all of us, all of us. What are some of your thoughts on this? Since you dealt with this on many different platforms in many different ways, give us your thoughts on this.
Yes, I would say that I have been, very fortunate and blessed to be a part of a few speaking opportunities talking about either like abuse against children or, domestic violence and different things like that. And then I also had for uncomfortable conversations, I had a panel dealing with all different forms of abuse. For the people who don't know, abuse can come in all different forms. There is physical, mental, emotional, financial abuse, a lot of different kinds in a lot of different ways. And I just hope that people understand. First of all, let's deal with I'm gonna get my Emmanuel. I'm gonna give you the definition of abuse.
Yes.
And basically, abuse means the abnormal use of something. So, whatever is being used abnormally or being used in an incorrect way, it is abuse. So, for me to um, use this to like use to eat with it, like the end of this,
Hmm.
to dip it in food and eat with it,
Right.
is considered abuse
Abnormal
because
use. Right.
I'm
Body.
abnormally using something. And people might say, oh, well, you're not hurting it, you're not doing it anything. How do you really know? You didn't ask the object that you're using, how does it feel? Does this want to be used as a spoon? You didn't ask. So you don't know if you're being you did, so you're thinking that you're not doing it, but you are abusing the object. Or in a lot of times it's not an object, it's a person, an adult or a child.
Well, the worst part about that, I think a good point you just said is, did you ask? Because more often than not, you find in relationships, or even not in relationships, the person who is being used, using the word loosely, in an
Mm-hmm.
abnormal way,
Mm-hmm.
the victim,
Mm-hmm.
and therefore now they gotta now deal with whatever is being used or put out on them in an abnormal way. Now,
Mm-hmm.
you said abuse takes so many different forms. This is so vast. Like, to touch this is like building a house. There's layers and
Mm-hmm.
layers and layers. And I
Mm-hmm.
always tell people to fully grasp the idea of abuse. So people always say, "Well, stop violence against women," this kind of stuff. I always tell people, until we are honest enough to identify where that is coming from, like the
Mm-hmm.
source to that, then it kind of uh, perpetuates itself, because again, it's linked to the experience and the trauma of this transatlantic slave trade directly.
Mm-hmm.
Because prior to that, that's not a cultural thing we had. So now engaging in this thing now, like the idea of ownership, like I own you, so I could do this, because
Mm-hmm.
it's coming from that mindset of ownership.
Mm-hmm.
I own this object, so I could eat it. I could use it to eat food with it, because it's mine, whether
Mm-hmm.
it like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
So now getting that false idea of ownership, especially when it comes to relationships, well, that's my man, or that's my woman, or even that's my child. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you are the vessel that spirit came through. But far as ownership is not yours.
Exactly.
You have been commissioned to guide that child for a
Mm-hmm.
period of time, but you can't abuse that child, because
Mm-hmm.
that's not yours. There's no ownership in a sense how we look at ownership. But when it comes to the family now, and
Mm-hmm.
identifying what we call, or what is commonly referred to as domestic violence, or domestic abuse, um, how is it possible that you find people who are in the situation, what they call domestic violence or domestic abuse? How is it that this thing called love compels people to stay in a relationship or stay in a marriage where there's evidence of abnormal use, or in this case, abuse of someone?
Mm-hmm.
What sparks that?
Well, um, just to start off and give a background, abuse comes from fear.
From fear.
Fear is always the chief catalyst behind a lot of things. So how I like to put it is, fear is like the ringleader of the group, and then fear always has some friends, right? So I you and I, we talk sometimes a lot about the spirit world. I believe in spirits, and I believe that there's a spirit of fear. And when you study scriptures, you learn that spirits that are evil, they travel in groups, in packs. They don't just come as one, right? So fear has a few friends. So a friend of fear is control,
Mhm.
manipulation,
Mhm.
and also violence or wrath. A person who has a lot of fear, they
Mhm.
will always show. those three other characteristics because all of those run together. You know, it's kind of like, let's just say a snack box. You don't know what you can get in a snack box.
Right.
You can get a protein, you can get some chips, you can get a roll. So you already know what's going to be in there, and usually that person will exhibit those things. So usually what makes people stay is what is called Stockholm syndrome, like
Mhm.
when you fall in love with your abuser,
Right. Right.
um and then you have like a lot of, it's very sad, but it is psychological damage, is mental illness. There is nothing healthy or sane about that behavior.
Mhm.
And once that person knows that you are psychologically damaged to that point that they can keep doing what they're doing and you think is okay, they're going to keep exploiting you. There is nothing mentally sane about somebody who continues to stay with an abuser. Something is mentally wrong with them and they need help, but they just don't know how to express it. There's a lot of, there's emotional trauma, there's psychological damage that they're dealing with.
Mhm.
Mostly is from the childhood. You know, maybe somebody told them, "Oh, I only beat you because I love you," or you know, somebody they saw somebody get treated that way and they think that is okay, and it's not, it's never okay. And just generally it is not okay for, you know, children to be abused, for men to be abused, or for women to be abused. It's not right. It's wrong, period. And it will, no matter what excuse you try to use for it, it will always be wrong.
Bottom line. Bottom line. Well, it's funny because somebody was asking me here. Well, I saw a question here. Sister put up fear. A friend of fear is jealousy as well.
Correct,
So,
correct. Yep. Hmm.
Um, RC had made a comment earlier too. He said earlier about the mindset of ownership of people was not colonially born. Now, although we grasp that and the idea of ownership,
Hmm.
if you look at it in terms of how we deal with each other now, and you
Hmm.
see it and you hear it, I actually got a video this morning. Yeah, this morning. I I thought about showing part of it, man, but I was like, I can't even do that. Like, I'm not even comfortable doing it. There was a situation where there's a mother involved with it, there's a child, and then there's a man who's clearly not. I mean, the whole thing was messy. The whole thing was messy. Him picking up a piece of wood to beat her with it and recording this in front of her other children. I mean, it was just a complete mess.
Hmm.
And the fact they got that this morning, it was like, well, wait a minute. Well, this is the same thing we're talking about. So now, watch how the abuse is being passed on in front of the children by the abuser, and the mother seemed like maybe she might even herself might need some help as well, based on what even he was saying and just some of her own testimony. And it's
Hmm.
like, well, wait a minute. And despite him telling the children in video, this is the ironic part. When you get older, don't look for a woman. I guess there were two boys. I'm assuming they were definitely boys. Don't look for a woman like like your mother. I mean, the mindset, what is being said to the young men, what they
Hmm.
see, what they witnessing, and it's
Hmm.
like, man, this is crazy.
Hmm.
It is abnormal behavior
Hmm.
without question.
Hmm.
And so, in order to heal and mend this kind of behavior,
Hmm.
how do we, because we told we conscious moving forward as a people. Okay, we get that. And there will not be no one group mass movement moving forward. But
Hmm.
each individual checking themselves, each household building itself, family by family, strengthens the community and gives
Hmm.
us that strength we need to collectively move. How do we start to build each other rather than tear down each other? What are some of the ideas, suggestions, rather than, because it's just to talk about women could control their mouth. That's the first thing she said.
Hmm.
I thought was interesting. And a lot of women might agree, and some like, man, I ain't listening to her. She talking bare foolishness. I can
Hmm.
say what I gotta say, and I ain't care who like him. As a matter of fact, I got a video last week.
Hmm.
Last week, yeah, a sister was started with talking about, people don't know you, judging you, and this kind of stuff. And I thought it was quite interesting. So I kind of settled in to watch this video and tell myself, sure, yeah. But at midpoint in the video, she goes to show her lower parts, which had no clothing on, and suggests that people can go ahead and perform certain acts on her.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it might seem it might seem I don't know. But what I'm saying is that women and their mouth, women's greatest weapon and one of their greatest tools is their mouth, not so?
It's true.
I mean, be the
It's
talk.
true.
I mean, talk to me, man. Is there truth? Is there truth to this? Does a woman fuel abuse using her mouth as a weapon? Is a question.
I would
Whether directly or indirectly.
I would never say she fuels it, because there's never a reason for it. Does that make sense?
No, I totally agree.
It's always like, it's almost like asking the victim when somebody abused them, well, what did you do? You're not supposed to ask them that, because it's wrong.
Totally agree.
Yeah, it's wrong, period. I would say women who have never had anybody really there for them, or never had anybody to really stand up for them, they use their mouth as just a weapon to just keep people off of them. And
okay.
And I am those women, me. So I had to really work on that, over the years, like
Really?
to try to not like think, because when they would come Miss Hunt with the foolishness, it was not a game. You see this right here, this just leave the bottom, the top.
Yeah.
That's what they got right there. Okay.
Straight.
So straight. So I had to learn that, your words are very powerful. And sometimes you can express yourself, you can express your upsetness, your disappointment, how you feel about something, without disrespecting that person. And that is something that is developed over time. And I had to really just learn how to talk to myself and just ask myself, okay, when I get upset, or when I'm ready to just open my mouth and get on, like, ask myself, what it is that you really feeling? Was your real issue? Are you really angry? Or what was your true feeling about what's going on? And sometimes it's not anger. You start to really think about, maybe that person do something that maybe somebody else did to you years ago. You never healed from that. So
Right.
now this person come and do it now. And then it just trigger you, and you just, giving them bam, and let me just say, no matter what reason you're doing it, is wrong. It's
Right.
wrong.
Right.
We gotta stop like making excuses for, but it's wrong.
Full stop.
Full stop.
Full
It's not right. And as far as the, like you said, with the words, listen, women know, we know, men are not that smart. They're not that deep like that. You can use your mouth to make him feel like he running things, but he's not.
I go say that's why I said fuel, because I gonna throw a little monkey wrench. I gonna throw a monkey wrench, but wait a minute, I gonna throw a monkey wrench in the game. Because I've heard women say, if he doesn't hit me, he doesn't care.
Yeah.
So they'll say things and they'll do things deliberately just to provoke the situation. Now, who's in control of that situation?
I've heard that many times, and that is a part of, as I mentioned earlier, the psychological damage. That person has a mental illness.
Serious.
For you to even let that come out of your mouth, you are mentally ill and you are psychologically damaged. That does not make any type of sense. It does not. So you just hearing these things and you hearing people say it and you repeating it. But once you start to really learn and understand and grow, and for me who's been in therapy for so many years, you realize that's wrong. But that person, you can't judge them either, because they just never had nobody to teach them better. And like I said, maybe their parents told them that, and then,
Or they witness that.
or they witness it, and then they get into a relationship, but that man is not your parent. That woman is not your parent. She should not be beating you. And if it's your child, you are not supposed to be your child bully. You're not supposed to bully your children.
Wow.
Sometimes the children ain't getting bullied outside, they're getting bullied in the house, because they got a broken parent who didn't have no business getting pregnant or getting nobody pregnant. Let's start there. You should have just kept them legs closed, because you are broken and messed up. You ain't had no business reproducing. But anyways, the child already here, and then you are so broken, you passing that on, you bullying the child, calling it discipline, but you are the ones just constantly berating and disrespecting and physically abusing. All of that stuff is, like I said, the way how it's to stop the bleeding. We all have to stop and take a look at ourselves, like a real serious look, and be like, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is what I have always been doing. This is how I am. And I ain't gonna think. Just ask yourself one question. How is that working for you?
I have a comment here again. RC says, I disagree. A lot of people have inherited problematic behaviors and have not taken time to dissect those behaviors are wrong. That's not necessarily mental illness. That's lack of awareness.
Correct. You're right. Lack of awareness, mentally, just, if you're right, it might not be a mental illness per se, as far as like diagnosed per se, but something is mentally wrong with that person. There's some type of undiagnosed trauma. Something happened. Let's just put it like that.
Well, and you could connect it to lack of awareness, which is funny, because we, in a conscious community, people tend to look at consciousness as, I don't even say a measuring stick, because consciousness is just being aware of yourself, being aware of who you are, as conscious as you can be, which is a matter of development. So as a people who have been through trauma, I think all of us have inherited trauma from generational past. Some of us have been fortunate enough to be aware of self based on our environment, based on association, based on perhaps the universe called. I told someone this morning, the Bible talks about in the last days, many are called and chosen are few. I told someone, who's to say that consciousness isn't the calling, and that those who teach and manifest it are not the chosen ones? Because we look at this thing so different, but all of these issues we have in our community are directly linked to lack of knowledge of self. All of them. Because knowing who you are on the spiritual, you said on the spiritual level, then allows you to start to recognize, well, wait a minute, I was doing so and so. I didn't even realize
exactly.
And
that will bring about the awareness that the young lady just mentioned. Yeah, I see where you're going. Got it.
So that's what but that's why I said, as a people, if we don't look at the family and see how we can mend, heal, and rebuild the family, going forward is impossible. Correct. It can't happen. We could say, well, the institution of family is the foundation, that solid rock in which we build the house on. Not having a solid rock means you build a house on sand, and when the high wind water comes, you already know how that goes. And the same thing with reality. So when it comes to abuse, you mentioned something about bullying and the children. Now that's, I've never heard anybody describe it in that way, but that is crazy because it's a fact. I mean, sometimes, like I said, a few months ago, I was downtown. I saw a gentleman with his son, and maybe 6, 7 years old at best. Small guy, thin, frail, and I mean, well, the child was crying. That's what got my attention. But then how he was dealing with the child walking, maybe he was tired walking, might have been a bit younger. And I mean, it was a bit like, wait a minute, this isn't correcting this child. This is literally just you beating up on the child
Mm-hmm.
as if he's an adult. So again, though, we know the mindset it goes in, and a lot of us that you said might be thinking what we're doing is right because that's how we were raised. That's what we saw. Like the RC said, that passed on in family, my grandmother or whoever. I see my name, my aunt, whatever, and here I am now, doing the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
not aware that there's a danger in it,
Mm-hmm.
and then the child grows up now and going to school, having challenges at school. Some children might use that as an energy to get away from you, and some might just be so broken that they can't even function in school, and it disrupts the child. It produces low self-esteem, and then that child gets older, gets into relationships, and perpetuates that same cycle. That term
Mm-hmm.
generational curse and breaking the generational curse, would you say that that applies to a scenario such as this?
I would say yes. You have to, like I said, I'm just gonna share about myself, not because, I'm a narcissist, but sometimes it's easy to just give, an example that way. I grew up seeing a lot of women in abuse, in my family, my mom, my aunts, and I am 37 years of age, and I'm proud to say that I've never experienced that, like physical abuse from a man. And I know it's been in my family for generations, right? I don't look at it like, oh, um, you just got to, I know that I've seen it, and I know um like what to kind of look for, from the beginning, looking at certain little things from a person. They start showing you little red flags.
Hmm.
You start to kind of be like, yeah, that looked like something that I don't want to get involved in. So but I would say if you want to break that generational curse, you're gonna have to start looking at the red flags and exit when you see the red flags. You don't have to wait till the person put their hands on you. You can start looking for little red flags like jealousy, controllingness, you know, or sometimes the person pretending to be too nice, or, different little stuff. If they're pretending to be too nice and they're always cool about everything, but something in your spirit telling you something ain't right,
Hmm.
sometimes you just go with that.
I would say that you speak about red flags. I would say that having worked with young people in the youth program and
Mhm.
a lot of their stories is like, I mean, how does a child, unlike a woman seeing a red flag, how does a child rescue themselves, how to put it, from a situation where the abuse is in the house, whether it's the big brother or the uncle or the father or the mother or
Mhm.
whoever, auntie or
Mhm.
whatever. Because I've actually
Mhm.
heard females tell me that they were abused by their aunts.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like females told me they were abused by their aunts, and I was like, wait,
Mhm.
how that possible though?
Yeah.
Well, auntie was into women.
Mhm.
As a young
Mhm.
lady, everybody watching the guy, and
Mhm.
anybody keeping an eye on auntie, and auntie, exploring and encouraging
Mhm.
exploration. And it's like, well,
Mhm.
wait, so it's okay to have red flags. Okay, we see red flags. I told
Mhm.
you. How does a
Mhm.
child
Mhm.
deal with that in that situation?
Right. I would say, as a child, I was sexually abused as well. Tell somebody, say something to somebody. It's not going to just magically go away.
Hmm.
And I would say when I told my mom about it, she did something about it. There are some children that when they tell the parents about it, the parents is try to ignore them or hush them or whatever. But when your child come and tell you
Wow.
about any form of abuse,
Mm,
always believe your child and investigate for yourself. You know, in my case, when I told my mother, she did something about it. And for everyone else who is watching and might be going through the same thing,
mm,
tell somebody.
mm.
If you tell one person and they don't believe you, tell somebody else. You tell another person and they don't believe you, tell somebody else. Make sure that make sure that if it's possible, you can document it, write down something. Times is different now. Back then I couldn't,
You got
pull out
social
my
media now.
pull out my little phone and take a video or whatever. Back then it was like I said, thank God my mom believed me and she did something about it. But now it's different. You can say something to somebody, do something about it. If you can get to a police station, talk to somebody. It's like, and I know the abuse is getting worse, for children because of being at home,
Mhm.
can't go into school. So a lot of them are trapped in the home, with the abuser
Mm.
doing virtual school. But I would say tell
Somebody.
somebody. And if you, like I said, keep saying it till you say it to the right person who gonna believe you.
Right. Well,
Mhm.
sister said here just now, what sickens me is when people who are tired of being abused vocalize that they are now branded the aggressor.
That happens a
Is
lot.
that true?
Yes, it happens a lot. Or sometimes they say, okay, like for example, if the person being abused is younger,
Hmm.
they say that person wants to take that other person's partner. No, they don't want to take the man or take the woman from you. That person is abusing them.
Hmm. Wow.
they're
So
they're
just
abusing them.
speaking out, you become labeled, pardon me, as the aggressor. Wow.
Exactly. And like I said, I know in my case I was very fortunate. My mother did something about it. She took the case to court. So not everybody gets that, and I do understand that. So just, like I said, say something. Say it.
Well, you let
Mhm.
me just right here real quick. You talked about the Stockholm, why they stay in a relationship, and although we somebody said that they would love to see what was it? They love to see the man that put their hands on them, and they'll say that they love him.
Oh.
It's like Sodia is too much, but Stockholm, the
Uh-huh.
idea of accepting abuse.
Hmm.
And you said, it reflects back like the brother or the RC said it could be a situation where the person fears for their life or they are
Hmm.
fearful of what might
Hmm.
happen, whether the children or whoever else after the fact.
Hmm. Hmm.
Stockholm, linking it to. If it's a fearful situation, then
Hmm.
how should one approach that? If it's a case where there's the actual fear of some
Hmm.
extreme bodily harm
Hmm.
or worse off death.
Well, um, this is going to sound really bad, but you got to make up your mind which one you prefer, because you can either stay there and get beat to death, or you can risk and get your freedom. Um, Lisa, give me 1 second. I
Yeah, that fear is one of those major factors in hiding persons from seeking help.
there
Yeah.
is there is one young lady that I know. She left her abusive husband and she was stabbed 27 times,
Well,
but she lived. So it's like it is such a, like I said, there is no like, I wish there was a blueprint or something specific that I can give to you. She's on Facebook as Lisa Bell. I don't know if people know her story. She was in an abusive marriage,
Mhm.
and with somebody prominent in Barbados. You know
Wait,
how
wow.
that goes.
Wait.
And
This is our home story.
but yeah, but we ain't gonna go there. That's her
Okay.
story. I'm gonna let her tell
Wow.
it. But her
Wow.
she's on Facebook as Lisa Bell, and she left that abusive situation, and she was stabbed 27 times. She was on comfortable conversations about domestic violence, and she lived. So it's like it's a risk. It's
Wow.
either you're gonna stay or you're gonna just go for it and
Wow.
just risk it to get out.
Wow. That one there rough though. I mean,
Hmm.
wow. That one there
Hmm.
rough. Someone's answered the question. How are we going to combat abuse going forward with all the new ideas that is being introduced to children? And I think that's a very good question, because right now you see children being
That. Hmm.
so many things being explained to children about what pronoun are you. I mean, abuse takes many different forms. Remember you said it earlier, not just the physical
It's
or the
true,
verbal,
right? Hmm.
the emotional
For
abuse.
your children, let me right. For your children, you set the tone for your children,
Mm-hmm,
not the school, not the teacher,
mm-hmm,
not the media, not the government.
mm-hmm.
You set that tone for whatever it is for your children in your own home.
I
And
agree.
if you are removed from the home, um, they yeah, like RC said, they have to make a solid exit plan. He knew of people who died when they tried to leave. Leaving with the hope you'll get out is not enough. Agreed. You can't just leave with a hope. You have to have a solid exit plan. And unfortunately, some people die. So you gotta make up your mind. It's either I'm gonna stick to my plan, whatever that exit plan is. But
Serious.
back to the kids. Um, you have to set that tone for what you want your children to learn and understand and take in.
Mm-hmm,
And when they come home from school,
mm-hmm,
you gotta take out all of that and put in what you want to go in. And that takes a lot of time, a lot of conversation, and
mm-hmm.
just a lot more meaningful quality time with the child to really
Listen.
help them to unlearn a lot of things. And teach your child that teach them, like we talking now about all the different forms of abuse,
Mm-hmm,
and let them know to speak up and say something to you or say something to an adult about it. Don't be afraid.
mm-hmm. Someone was saying that in society like BIM, if adults go to the law, it either takes too long or not treated with
Uh-huh.
urgency. So it may result in their death or homelessness. Now, does homelessness affect that
Correct.
as well? You know, it's funny because,
Yes,
yeah,
because
that
mhm,
homelessness is a factor as well, you know. And I've seen that played out
mhm,
before, where a situation where a female might be living with the man and things go away. It's like, yo, you gotta leave here, you gotta leave here now, like
mhm,
right now.
mhm,
And I've seen police come to the situation, met a woman and a man who having an issue. There's a child involved. They name on the lease agreement, and I've seen the police right here in BIM put the woman and the child out in the middle of the night.
mhm, mhm,
But at one point, I didn't quite get it. Like, what you put up? We're not demand. But remember, you said what they have in the plan, exit plan,
mhm,
rather than
mhm,
leaving her and the child in the home where the man can always return. She now has
mhm,
the option to go somewhere where he may not know where to find her.
mhm, mhm,
So it was like, okay, I get it. I get it. So yes, it might take time, and yes, sometimes they treat it differently. But again, it gonna have to be something you plan and sure or secure enough to know this is the direction I going in. I put some things in place and make that move. Because in this
mhm,
time right now, and I ain't going front, people seem a bit more. My friend calls it what? Um, Agitated denial. People seem more edgy, more ready to snap than ever before. I mean, I'm seeing it everywhere. So
Um,
I don't know if it's
yeah.
the time, it's
Mhm,
coincidence, if it's
mhm,
just post COVID trauma or
mhm,
whatever.
mhm.
People seem a bit more on edge, man.
I don't believe that. Well, sorry, I don't think. I think people have always been on edge
Mm,
and always been ready to snap, but now they have more of a excuse to do it
okay, I see what you're saying. I see.
because this is not the first set of hard times we ever had. I don't know about you, but it's like this is not my first set of hard times.
Been there, done, been
Huh,
there, done that.
huh. Okay.
Well, well,
And
well,
I'm just being honest. You know what I'm
well.
saying? But yeah, like Darky said,
Using it as an excuse,
they're
basically.
using it as an excuse to do more foolishness. And as we said earlier, like what Darkin said, deprogramming the children when they get home from school.
I agree.
Yes, Dr. Brandon is who introduced me to Lisa.
Nice, nice,
So
nice. Lisa
as she
Clark.
said, she's always willing to share her story. I'm waiting for her to share her story of justice. That's what I'm waiting on. But
Wow, we might
we
have to
moving
get.
right along.
You might have to call Lisa now since she want to come in on Friday night.
We moving right along. Yeah, but she would be a great
What we could
good
do is
great addition.
we could
Hmm.
slip her a number to the Black Lion Security, see if they can have a
Hmm.
conversation. They could resolve that, in an amicable way.
She needs
Seriously
she need
speaking,
she needs some of that Chapman Lane security. That's what she
I
needs.
just
We
gonna
gonna
put
move
that up.
that. We,
Fact. Leave it at that. Leave it at that. So moving right along though. But no, on a serious note,
uh,
we look at this thing like,
mhm,
are we living with this thing? Or are we really making progress? Because how do we mend it going forward? How do we as a people start to say, okay, good. We
mhm,
recognize some of these issues. We know that there's a connection with some trauma in the past. A lot of people
mhm,
going through stuff,
mhm,
not healing.
mhm.
How do we put mechanisms going forward in place to heal?
It
Um,
it
you got
all
men.
start yeah. It
You
all
got,
starts with a conversation. Just talk. Why we don't talk? I mean, I remember like back in the day, it would sit down and you would just be like, what you call it, just reasoning. I was just here reasoning. You know how much this come out when people reason with each other? But when you reasoning with somebody, you gotta take out your expectations out of it. You gotta let that person be themselves, and that person have to let you be yourself.
it's true. It's so true. And I think
Yeah.
that knowing yourself really is one of the fundamental places to start. The
Mm-hmm.
brother talked about misconceptions between good and bad and right or wrong. I think, like you said earlier, abuse is abuse. No matter how you try to spin it,
Mm-hmm.
misusing someone is just no, that's not the direction we're looking to go in. And
Mm-hmm.
so, but it speaks volumes about where you're at in
Mm-hmm.
your emotional development. You said it
Mm-hmm.
could be things linked to past traumas, family. We got all the reasons we could say it where it come from. What we need to do is recognize that we need to make that change.
Mm-hmm.
Need to start looking at self, looking into self. And if you can't do it alone, find a group, find a brethren, find a sister.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the other misconceptions is that women are only the victims in abusive situations.
That's
I
not
mean,
true.
I know
Mm-hmm.
men
That's not.
who get abused, and it's like it seems funny, but this ain't funny.
It's not. It's
It's
not.
far from funny, and it's like, well, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
How do you? And because it's masculine, it's like I ain't want to tell nobody nothing because can nobody look at me like I getting punked in my own home.
Mm-hmm. Well, I would say, especially for men, I know men might not feel like they want to talk to somebody, but I always share the men's network.
Hmm.
They meet um, with the leader of that is Fabian Sargent,
Hmm.
and he gets together with men who need help. Like if you're being abused, if you have any, and I'm trying to look it up right now on Facebook. They have a actual gathering place in the Ivy, I believe,
Hmm.
and they also meet at the church right there by across from the river, Van Stand. They have like different events and get-togethers and workshops and stuff like that
Hmm.
in the evening. So yeah, it's called the Men Empowerment Network Support,
Okay. Okay.
and they are in. Oh, sorry, I thought it was in the Ivy, but it's in actual Bay Street,
And okay.
and they have like different men's talks. It's on the at the New Testament Church of God, River Road, St. Michael, basically right across from the River Bus Terminal.
Yeah,
So
I think yeah, I know the
yeah,
location.
yeah. So for men who are, they need help, you can just reach out, and it's such an amazing thing. I tried to sneak in, but I was not allowed. Um, so I just was able to come like afterwards they finished sharing,
Hmm.
and just come and say hi to them and tell them,
Interesting. Interesting.
like how proud I am of them. Like I was
Mm.
so proud to see
Nice.
about 20 guys sitting down in around like a circle, and
Nice.
they're like sharing their deepest issues with each other, and it needs to be bigger. It needs to be more than that. And
I think
if a
men.
man yeah, if a man is looking for a safe space to do that,
Mhm.
the Men Empowerment Network support group is a safe space to do that.
Wonderful, wonderful. I want you to tell us about this right here, though.
Mhm.
Give us a little information about this Caribbean Women's Expo. What exactly is it, and what's the brains behind it? What's the focus of it?
Well, I would say, man, I look, you thinking you doing one thing and then it's just grow into something else.
Tell me
Um,
about it. Tell me about it. I
so
still got the old
yeah,
cell phone and the two clothespins.
exactly. So I'll say what it started, and
Right,
then I'll say what it has become.
right, right.
So for the Caribbean Women's Expo, basically I wanted to start up something that shows Caribbean women in a different light.
Mhm.
Um, we're not always, walking up wearing costumes and drinking and stuff like that. I wanted to highlight the businesses and also the careers of women from the Caribbean.
Excellent,
Um,
excellent,
a lot
excellent.
of Caribbean women have some very good jobs, here in the US, the UK, and abroad. And a lot of them really don't share their culture because it's like they might feel like they don't want nobody like, bothering them or feeling uncomfortable about, who they are and what they bring to the table. But, we basically promote all things that Caribbean women do, their achievements and things like that. So that's what it started as,
Right, right.
So then we started doing the expos where women who had businesses, they could come and share their goods and services at the expo. And then COVID came, and then we turned into a virtual expo instead of doing it in person. And then in the summer of 2020, I decided to do the online web series called Uncomfortable Conversations. I had never thought about that. I had never wanted to do that. I mean, that was definitely an idea like straight from God, because that was never my intention. My plan was just to sit still, lay low,
Right.
be COVID free. So when I started on Comfortable Conversations, that kind of took on a mind of its own, and it just took off.
Hmm.
We have covered so many different things. We talked about abuse, we talked about menopause, we talked about religion in the Caribbean, we talked about raising children, we talked about entrepreneurship versus being an employee. We have covered so many different things, mental illness, so many different things. And
Wow.
it just showed that there's a lot of healing and a lot of information that can be given just by a simple conversation. So many of my friends have had problems and illnesses that I had when we did the uncomfortable conversation about PCOS. I
What's
did
that?
not the polycystic ovarian
Okay.
syndrome.
Okay. Wow.
I did not know that so many of my friends personally had PCOS. I never knew until they reached out and I asked them to be guests on the show.
Wow.
So, I mean, like I said, it completely took on a mind of its own. And
I know how
that's
that goes.
yeah. So then after that, then we switched to partnering with other Caribbean groups here in Houston. And because we already realized, like, hey, we have a global reach, we have the Caribbean reach, we also have the US. So why not just partner together? So now we partner with Puma Business Creation and also I Love Being Caribbean. And we put on the Caribbean Craft Market, which basically helps us to reach more people and broaden our network. And just like I said, we realized that we were both three doing the same thing, and instead of just reinventing the wheel, we just decided to do it together. So we now do the Caribbean Craft Market quarterly. And like I said, if you are a person who might not be always into the whole party thing, we do things that you can bring your children to. Is safe. And when you support a small business, you're supporting somebody's family. You helping a family to thrive.
That's right.
And that's very important to keep, the financial ecosystem going.
No, I think that's super awesome, man. I
Mhm.
think that the whole idea of coming together, supporting family, is what it's about. Recognizing that, again, abuse takes all forms. There's even financial abuse when we decide we ain't helping each other grow. So
Yes, and that's another thing that we do focus on as well.
building.
Financial literacy and
Mhm.
also financial wholeness as a way to escape abuse. So once women and men, who are being abused, once they become more financial literate and
Mhm.
also um, business savvy, maybe more entrepreneurial, learn how to open or run a little small business. Sometimes that will give them the independence too to leave that
Yeah,
abusive situation because now they have the tools.
right. Totally agree. Totally agree. By the way, shout out to Dr. Brandon without question and the Bango Society.
Yes, Dr. B.
It would not be necessary. Yeah, you cannot not shout out Dr. B. No, nah, that ain't right. You know,
Yes,
the conductor
she
connected
is.
connected
Yeah,
the right people with the right people.
listen, in 20 years, that's who I want to be. I want to be like, what I'm
Wow,
saying,
wow.
just presentations all over the world. Like, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. But if
like,
she's ready to pass the torch, you gonna pick it up, because she put a lot of work in over the years, without
I
question.
mean, like, she just is like, I promise
Amazing.
you,
It's amazing.
when I met her in person, I was so excited. Like, she is my real life, like, superhero. Like, I
Real
swear to
thing.
God,
Real thing.
because
Real thing.
she's so intelligent and still like down to earth, but still she's like, I
I
know what
love
I'm
it.
talking about.
I love the people. I love
Yes,
the people without
yes,
question.
yes,
We give
yes.
thanks to those heroes that work in the background in the shadows, because a lot of us get where we are because of people really fueling the
Hmm.
fire. And
Hmm.
we give thanks to all those, for sure. Those that came before and those that are still here. So definitely shout out to Dr. B without question.
Correct.
I
Yes.
definitely want to thank you for coming through. We're gonna work on Miss Bell coming in Friday though. We're gonna have a conversation about
Yeah.
that
Her
for sure.
story is amazing. And she is so beautiful and so like I said, I just I am so glad
Mhm.
that the plan that person had failed. I'm so glad because it's like she just has blossomed. That's so good.
I could even, and that's good. But as a spirit being, imagine
Hmm.
her going through that experience. Now, that experience has given her the kind of strength that she could speak on it, and the
Hmm.
other people who might be in the situation that can take strength and strategy
Mm-hmm.
from that situation in order to have an exit plan. So we definitely want to give thanks for those. Before you leave, give us a final word, parting word, I should say, for now, regarding the thoughts for this evening. As far as who are the real victims, everybody loses. Everybody loses. Give us some words of encouragement.
I would say just no. Listen, nobody has it all together. I mean,
Work in progress. Work.
we, oh God, like seriously, we are all a work in progress. No matter what you see on social media, on TV, on whatever, everybody is a work in progress. I would challenge everyone listening, just get a small notebook, a sheet of paper, a pen, something that you can keep personally on you or close to you, and write.
Mhm.
Write what you feel, write what you think, write what you see. Like that, that, that special brain activity
Mhm.
of taking words and literally writing them down, that's very powerful. So I
Serious.
would encourage everybody. And if you are in an abusive situation right now, that person can only, your mind is so strong that you can take away their power by thinking differently.
Totally agree.
That's what abuse is all about. They want power over your mind. They want you to constantly think about them, be afraid of them. They want that energy to constantly, they want all of your energy to constantly be focused on them and about them all the time. And you
Serious.
can take that power away. First, it will start in your mind, and then after that, it will continue to go.
Wonderful, wonderful. We enjoyed message from Monday night. Listen to learn, and learn to listen.
Correct. and
Fact,
and talk to somebody. Talk.
facts.
Don't feel ashamed, and talk to somebody. And for the people listening, when somebody coming to you and telling you that they're being abused, there's nothing funny about it.
Indeed.
um be compassionate. Be compassionate, and just try to encourage that person, even if they might not be ready to leave the abusive situation yet, because some people are like that. They might not always be ready to leave right then and there, but at least be compassionate. Don't be degrading, and just be there to just be an encourage. Don't jump into the situation either. Don't go and put yourself in it, because that person might also attack you, or you might, you know what I'm saying? Just
Mm.
use wisdom is what I would say.
Use wisdom. I like
But
that.
be compassionate when somebody's telling you that they're being abused. And finally, if you know an abuser, you need to hold them accountable.
Mm.
You should not be having drinks, having dinner with an abuser, sitting down, kiki, and laughing with them. If you know that that
Serious.
person abuses people, hold them accountable.
Mm. I like that. I
There's
like.
no reason that an abuser should be coming to you, bragging to you, laughing with you about how they abuse other people, and you think it's funny.
Facts. Facts.
There is nothing funny about that.
That's right.
They come telling you stories about how they fingering children, and doing all kind of things, and beating, and unfairing other people, and you, oh, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Yes, it does.
Serious.
It does.
Serious. Serious. Facts,
But
man.
you only saying that because they're not doing it to you. You should not be, hold abusers accountable. Call them out.
Serious.
Stop always trying to, oh, well, I didn't want to say nothing. Say it. It's wrong. Period.
Serious. Serious.
Make them uncomfortable with what they're doing instead of them. You always trying to be, cause I don't want to make them, no, make them feel uncomfortable. Call them out for their abusive, nasty, destructive ways is wrong.
Serious. 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 Yeah, love it. Love it. Love it. Maria says, speak,
Mhm.
sis. Yeah,
Yeah.
serious. Call that out. It's so funny because I mean, the mom would say he would tell you, man, we've been in some real funny situations in Barbados. I mean, that you
And
wouldn't even think is possible from
and
low to
one
high
thing,
office.
an abuser that is getting away with it or think they're getting away with it, they're gonna brag to somebody.
Mm,
They always do. Because they're so stupid. They
serious.
think that they're getting over, or they think they're gonna brag to somebody. And if that person is you, hold them accountable.
Facts, facts, facts. Just a fan, Bruce. That's a sick boy. Serious.
Yeah. It's sick. Somebody talking about coming up to you, be like, yeah, I was, feeling up, she bubbies, I know she's only 11, but Nick, what?
Man,
Are you gonna sit up like,
you don't even know, man. I mean, you don't even know, man. We had situations where people knew, everybody around the house knew, and they told the mom at night, yeah, daddy get on there ever since. And it's like, well, wait a minute, what do you mean get on there ever since? And it took us to know God come and deal with this. And you
mm-hmm,
telling me this been going on ever since?
mm-hmm.
Wow. So yeah, I
you,
get you,
yeah,
man.
you
For real.
use that same breath that you do to disrespect people and talk about other people. Use it for good.
Serious. Facts, man. Chapman Lane in the building, family. You could
In
tell
the building, we
in the
both here.
building. Yeah, we both here. That was going on. That was going on. We both here. Gotta love it. Nicole, as always, man.
Straight from Texas.
It's always
Straight
love. It's always
from
love. It's always
Texas.
love. It's always love right through, man. And give thanks for
Mhm.
your essence, as always, your wisdom and you sharing as well. And Caribbean Expo. Women, listen. Caribbean Women Expo, I put the link up in the chat just now. I put it in the comment somewhere in there. Go on the
Mhm.
page, check it out. Make sure you like it, share it with a friend. And there's videos on there as well. And if y'all see any videos of me in it, it's what it look like me is purely coincidental.
Yeah, and if you have a business and you want us to highlight you, if you have a career you want us to highlight you, it's free. Um, just send us a message, send us a DM about
Yeah,
what you do and a picture that we can make you our businesswoman of the day. We just love sharing about, what you're doing, and it's amazing. We want to share it.
wonderful, wonderful. I want to give thanks. Make that connect. We're gonna talk though. We're gonna talk and let's see what happened on Friday night. But give thanks for coming through. And as always, family, nothing but kinetic energy and pure love from Barbados to Texas, all the way to
Texas.
Texas, all the way. Look, all the way to Texas.
All the way.
With a Boxers Road fish and chips from Gloria. Especially, listen, hold on, I gotta
From
shout out Gloria. I
Glorious.
gotta shout out Gloria.
It,
I cannot not shout
it
out
gotta
Gloria.
be the fish and chip
I
from
gotta shout out
Glorious. That's
Gloria. I would send us a whole month's supply, specially packed, frozen of fish and chips from Gloria. Boxers Road, the
see,
original.
see,
Is
you
all
are a
love.
very smart man. You know my love language is food.
You see what I'm
See,
telling you? Not
smart
just
guy.
food from the
Food,
best. Shout out
food
to
from the
Gloria
best.
for sure. Give thanks, family. Blessed love, huh?
Yes. Thank you.
Oh man, oh man. Shout out to Texas in the house. Nothing but Nicole Hunt. Yes, family. We give thanks for the sister coming through and sharing the vibes, the energy. Family of fear. Family of fear. We gonna fix this, family. Um, are we our brother's keeper and our sisters? The answer is yes. And we gotta be mindful because everybody loses when the family feuds, man. The real victims is everybody, the children, the neighbor, everybody. Because a we thing. It's a we thing, not a me thing. It's a we thing. So we gotta look out for each other, help each other build, heal. Brothers talk to each other. You know your man be putting in work, you see it. The reason. The sister talk to your sister, reason with your sister. You know what I mean? I'm sure there are men's groups and there's female groups. She mentioned one, the brother right there, Fabian, doing his program as well. And the other church groups, there's other groups. The point is, let's communicate. Reason. The brother said it Monday night. I was saying it again. Communication, communication, communication. That's what's very important for sure. But there's something else I gotta mention tonight. Yo, Phil, where you at, Phil? I didn't get the link, Phil. But there's some information coming up about a launch tomorrow that they're having. Let me see if I get one of these folks. I could pull one of these folks into this conversation now real quick. I don't not want to mention this. Let me see. I know Phil is here. Let me see. Okay, got you. This is, wait a minute. This is for tomorrow's program. Okay, there's a group. Well, how do we start this? ADDI. That's well, most of y'all might or might not know this organization. It was here for quite a while. Just sent it. I got you. Wait, hold on. You just sent it. You just sent it. I like that. But they're having a launch tomorrow evening at what time is it? I don't want to be flipping through this back and forth. Here what to do, Phil. The link is there. Just click on it and come on in, man. Come on in. Come on in. Since Mama, I don't know if she's still here as well, but you could hop in. Please do not post malicious. Okay, let me skip all that. I don't think that's necessary. But there's a launch tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. If this is the correct one, if I'm looking at Phil, this is the correct one. Gem, I see you too. Ubuntu, yes, I am, because we are for sure. This whole idea, though, is to educate the African diaspora about investment opportunities in Africa and to promote the African continental free trade area. Who else here? Phil, you in the building? Look at the link. I just put the link up. Just go on and do your magic and come on in and give me some thoughts on this. This is important. We talk about family. Well, it's a family affair, family all across the globe. Folks are coming together in different groups and forming umbrella groups and other groups and forming alliances. It's about family coming together and healing, helping each other build and helping each other gain from strength to strength. So the program is dedicated towards education, which is most important. There's a Barbados chapter of the organization starting tomorrow. And so we are looking to launch this. I see the time here is 8:30. If that's the same one, like I said, Phil, I am assuming this is the correct one. August the 4th. When is the 4th? Yeah, the 4th is tomorrow. So it's tomorrow, August the 4th at 8:30, yes. Eastern time. There's going to be a Zoom link, but you have to register. I will have to put this information up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post this on the actual page as well, so you can look and log in. All right, no problem. So you can look and log in. But this information, you have to register in advance for the meeting. And there's information here on how to register. So I'll go ahead and post that. Yeah, that's what's up. So I'll post this information because there's a link right here. But there's a chapter starting tomorrow in Barbados, the ADDI chapter for Barbados, being launched tomorrow. Phil City's on his way in, so he'll be here in a second. But it's at 8:30 p.m. And you have to register first for the Zoom link. So you just can't share it and just come on in. If you're not on the guest list, then guess what? I guess you missed it. So I'll put it at that. But thanks for coming in tonight, family. While Phil get all organized and come on in, I want to also say that the sister Nicole, want to thank her for coming in and sharing as well. Thank you too, Nicole. I see you. As always, one of the day ones. Been rolling with politically incorrect from jump. Been through a lot. Old cell phone. Too close, man. Yeah, all cracked up and everything, right? You see, y'all, I mean, y'all seen this before, but this is where we all started. Right here. Maybe he's getting dropped out and cut in and hacked and all kind of stuff. Y'all remember those days. But we have grown. And that's what it's about, growing. It's about growing. So we definitely give thanks. But like I said, I'm waiting on Phil to come on in so you can share this with the rest of the family. Like I said, things happening. The link will be, yeah, after registration, you receive a confirmation email containing information about joining the meeting. So like I said, I still got to post this. So I will post it. I feel I didn't see you yet, but if anybody really, really interested, like I said, in being a part of that, tomorrow, I'll post that link up on the page so that you can come on in. But before I go, I feel you got, there you go. Greetings, family. Greetings. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom, my brother.
Yes,
I'm here.
yes. Yeah, I'm going to post the link because I realize you need that information. So I'm going to post that. But go ahead and tell us a bit. As a matter of fact, if you have another device on, you might have to mute that one. Yeah, you know why.
Oh shoot, sorry. Yes, sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. You know how it go, man. We blame it on the
Yeah,
brain, not the
doing too many different things at one time, and that's
blame it on
okay.
the brain, not the heart. On the brain, not the heart.
Okay, how's that? Is that better?
Perfect. Tell us a little bit about ADDI quickly in a nutshell.
Well,
Give us.
ADDI, we're having our launch tomorrow. This is a brand new chapter. We're the 66th chapter in the ADDI family worldwide. The Barbados chapter is being launched tomorrow by Her Excellency, the former ambassador to the UN. It is about Africa Diaspora Development Institute. And what it is about South-South trade between the Caribbean, which is the sixth region, Latin and South America, and the continent of Africa. We're trying to pull our people together all over the world. There are chapters now as far as China, India, as close as St. Lucia. So the idea is that we get to know each other. We get to know what businesses are going on out there, how we can benefit from doing trade between ourselves and our various countries. And Her Excellency has done a phenomenal job of putting this together. So, there's a lot of staff in the ADDI family, and Mrs. Robertson, for instance, who is the director for chapter development, and Mrs. Higgins from Antigua. These are women that work tirelessly every day. If you see the amount of information that I have to follow on a daily basis, it's incredible. I want to just say that I am extending the invitation to every member of this broadcast, because I'm here with you guys 3 times a week, and I really have a lot of love and respect for this show and for what it's trying to do. And we are just trying to broaden the umbrella a little bit, just broaden, the umbrella so that we can all find our place. We're not all going to find the same place at the same time, but we all can find a place on the art that we can fit into. That's how I see it. This is the wonderful, beautiful, intelligent lady here, the former ambassador. Her name is way too long for me to try to pronounce for you right now. Yes, but it goes on forever. But she's a very bright woman, and you'll hear her story. You can always go on YouTube and pull up some of the interviews that she's done over the time that she's been involved with this process. She started it, and you will see why she's done it. I'm not going to repeat all that for you tonight, but I invite you to join us tomorrow. The link can be available, as Emmanuel said earlier. You have to register in advance. It cannot be done at the time of the Zoom because it'll be too late. But I think everybody should take a little look at this. I've invited Elder Lamumba to join us. He'll be one of my special guests that I'll be introducing on the program, along with some other local personalities here in Barbados.
Wonderful. But we want to thank you for coming and sharing that with us. And like I said, I go ahead and put that up so others can see and be a part of it accordingly. Yeah. Yes?
Thank you.
Thanks, brother. Shalom. All right, family.
Shalom. Thank you.
Love and light, man. All right, family. So there you have it. Tomorrow night, the launch. Can't go wrong. And
8:30 p.m. sharp.
8:30 p.m. Yes. Tomorrow, the 4th Can't miss it.
Tomorrow the 4th.
The 4th,
Yeah.
the 4th of the August.
Yes.
Yes, we're in that kind of time now. So making it happen, family.
Thank you.
Bless
Night,
love.
everyone. Blessings. Shalom, shalom.
Wonderful. All right, family, we out of here. What time is it? Oh, 1:38. Well, not 1:38, hour and 38. We out of here, family. And we're going to link up tomorrow for sure with this launch. First time in Barbados. Whole new direction. I tell you, people coming together all over. So that's what's happening. That's indeed what's happening. So we're going to make it happen on many different levels. And I want to thank everyone for coming in tonight and, being a part of. So, yeah, though. All right, so let me see how I could do this. Yeah, that works in one. Did I get them all? I don't know if I got them all. I think I got them all. But, yeah, somebody's posting some spanorama. Fix that. Go make a new account now and come back in. Best adult date in sight. Yeah, go make a new account and come back in, man. I'll make y'all work for this. Yes, family. Y'all have a blessed night as well. Let me go and drop this tune real quick. But thank you again for sharing tonight, family. Man, this is what we're talking about, family. Togetherness, man. Togetherness. One family here.
Shit, how she look so? Dark glasses. I know she. And how she walks up. You know, she never ask her. Hey there, what's wrong, woman? Looks like you're feeling down inside. He says he loves you, but he might beat you when it feel like. And it's not right when you really feel like. Oh, if he beat you, then what? Take your clothes off. Abuse and mistreat you, then later on seduce you. Make him know him not get no love in if a sudden star. And the strength when him a take a beat, take it a fight war. Face too pretty for your wear scar. You never get to Zion if him break your heart. But it's off, let it go.
Let it go.
Cut it off and find someone who love you, girl. Cut it off. Life too short, cut it off. No afraid to start over, cut it off.
Sometimes you gotta cut it off and start over, man.
You know it's not right. We'll leap a fuss and fight. You want something on your eye, mom. It's a raw one like dog. You know it's not right.
Give thanks, family. I see you.
And there is nothing domestic about it. My girl, I better you love it. Oh, if he beat you, then what? Take your clothes off. Abuse and mistreat.
Reggie, you gotta talk to your mans them here. Sister, you gotta talk to your friends them here.
Face too pretty for your wear scar. You'll never get to Zion if you break your heart. You got to love yourself before you love someone.
Self-love, family. Know yourself, family.
You hurt your flesh in the name of love.
Know yourself, family.
No, you got to love yourself before you love
self-love, family. Self-love. Be aware of self.
Never you hurt your flesh in the name of love. No, you can't make him beat you.
Serious.
Then what? Take your clothes off. Abuse and mistreat you. Then later on seduce you. Make him know him not get no love and if a sudden star. And the strength way my take a beat, take it a fight war. Face too pretty for your wear scar. You never get to Zion.
Serious, family.
It's not right. We'll leave a fuss and fight. And every night when you make you cry, what time you feel like you want to die, you know it's not right. It's not the most I say. There is nothing domestic about it. Walk up, my girl, I better love it. Oh, if you beat you, then what? take your clothes off, abuse and mistreat you, then later on seduce you, make him know him not get no loving if a sudden star. Patient way, ma take a beat, take it for fight war. Face too pretty for your wear scar. He'll never get to Zion if he break your heart. Cut it off, let it go, start anew.
Have a plan, family. Have a plan, family.
And find
Tell a friend, tell a friend.
who love you, girl. Cut it off, life too short. Cut it off, no great we start to over. Cut it off, so the healing
See what's going on,
start.
family.
Yeah, make him hurt no more. That man just a beat you. Then what? Take your clothes off, abuse and mistreat you, and then what? Come seduce you. Him just a beat you. Then what? Take your clothes off, abuse and mistreat you, and then what? Come on. He cut it off.
Cut it off, family.
Just let him go. Start anew. Cut it off.
Cut it off. I like what his sister said, though. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Tell a friend and tell a friend. She also said that the man them got to talk to the man them, and the sister got to talk to the sister them, man. You know, people, man, you call them out on it, make that happen. I totally support that right through. Be your brothers and sisters keeper, man, not just in word, but in deed. Indeed. Shalom. Give thanks, family. Well, thanks for staying another, hour and 44 minutes on Politically Incorrect. Yeah. We're going to get there, family. You know, we look around, we see all kind of stuff going on. There's a lot of folks doing good, a lot of things happening otherwise. Let us focus on building self, building family, building community. And therefore we can build as a nation. And that's where we're going, family. So, yeah, blessed love. You know what I mean? Enjoy the rest of the evening. And join us on Friday night for the continuation of how we going to heal the family and move forward, man. Because this is where we at. Moving forward. So, exit plan. Thank you, family. This last the first Empress Reserve Menin. Yes, y'all already know, man. It's one perfect balance. Yeah. Love and light to you too, family. The links there. Remember, shout out to the sister again for coming through. Maximum respect. Beer Kinetic Energy from here all the way to Texas. Sister in Texas, yeah, that's a long Chapman Lane going Texas. Like, I don't even know if Texas ready for Chapman Lane. Like, they don't even think. Blessed love, family. Always. That's what's up, man. We're going to make this happen. It's already done. Keep that in mind, family. We're going to link up. I'll see y'all on Friday night for sure. 1.